On today's show, we explore the tiny little things that secretly make life feel more cinematic. From music and lighting, to outfits, rituals, weather, cafes, train journeys, and those oddly magical moments that make you feel like you're suddenly inside your own movie scene. So grab your popcorn, get comfy, and romanticize the ordinary, because it's time to Movify your life, one cinematic detail at a time. Welcome to the Movify Your Life show, the plot twist you've been waiting for. I'm your host, Jessica Grace Coleman, and through the Movify Your Life method, I'll show you how to step into the starring role of your story and create a life worth watching. Every Movify Monday, you'll learn how to turn everyday moments into unforgettable memories, activate your main character energy, and use cinematic tools to boldly chase your biggest dreams, like the movie star you truly are. Because when the credits roll, I want you to look back at your life like it's the greatest film ever made, full of meaning, magic, and most importantly, zero regrets. And because I truly believe everyone deserves to live an epic life fit for the big screen. So grab your popcorn, cue the music, and together, let's Movify your life. Hello, and welcome to the Movify Your Life show with me, Jessica Grace Coleman. You can call me Jess, though. I am the director and founder of Movify Your Life. You can find out more at movifyyourlife.com if you don't know what I'm talking about, or just go back and listen to previous podcast episodes where I'm wanging on about movifying your life all the time. I'm recording this during a heat wave in England. Woohoo! I say woohoo, but I don't actually do well in the heat, so I don't know why I'm woohooing. I did just have a mini milk ice cream, so to cool me down, so that was quite nice. So yes, we had I think it was either the hottest May bank holiday, like late May bank holiday on record, or in 100 years or something. And it's been pretty hot all week. We did have some thunder in the night and some rain, which helped things a bit, but it's gone hot again. So yeah, I'm sort of getting through the heat wave. But being British and being a tea lover, I am still drinking giant cups of steaming hot tea, which probably doesn't help. I think it's an urban myth that hot tea cools you down, but there we go. Anyway, today we are talking about 8 things that secretly make life feel more like a movie. And I say secretly, but it's not really a secret. It's just the fact that we don't really, well, most of us don't really think about this on a daily basis. I do, because I think about things in movified terms all the time. These are things that can help make life feel more like a movie, or like a scene from a movie, or like a moment from an epic, uplifting film. Because one thing that some people don't really understand, or perhaps misunderstand sometimes, about Movify Your Life, or about romanticizing your life, cinematic living, all those kind of terms, is that they think it means your life has to look sort of like this huge, dramatic Hollywood adventure scene all the time. Like you need to be quitting your job tomorrow in a dramatic fashion, moving to Paris, skydiving in Bali, or kissing someone in the rain every 5 minutes while a sweeping orchestral soundtrack plays in the background. And those things are great. I'm all about the big movie moments. I talk about magical movie moments on this podcast and in my content all the time. And I'm obviously very pro adventure. I love adventures. I love a plot twist. I love going on big epic trips. I love shaking my life up and doing all the big things. But, or I should say and some of the most cinematic moments in my entire life have been the smaller things, like ordinary things. Like one thing or a couple of things I'm going to talk about in this episode has made it feel cinematic for me. So it could be looking out of a train window at the passing scenery while it's raining and you're listening to your favorite song. It could be sitting in a cozy cafe, having a lovely cup of tea or coffee, a fancy coffee, writing in a notebook and pretending I'm in some kind of arty coming of age film. Or perhaps I've just been hanging out with my friends and, you know, when you start laughing at something and it makes you laugh so much that you can like barely breathe, and it's just like a really, really good release, laughing as hard as you can, and you just feel like amazing in that moment. That could feel like something out of a film. Even like just walking dramatically through Tesco or Asda with the right song playing in your headphones, like music is a huge thing, which I'm going to talk about. But what I mean is that life can feel cinematic, even if what you're doing isn't necessarily cinematic at all. It can be the atmosphere, the emotion you attach to something, the meaning behind what you're doing. And like I say, something as simple as putting the perfect song on. And movies are obviously masters at this. They don't just show you events, they create mood, they create atmosphere, they create feelings, they evoke emotion. And I think we can do the same thing in our own real lives. And as I say, it doesn't have to be huge. It can be the little things. So today I wanted to talk about some of the little things that make life feel more like a movie. And there are loads more than what I'm going to talk about today, but these were sort of like the obvious ones that came to mind as I started planning for this episode. Okay, so I have just mentioned it, but number one is music. Soundtracks change everything. And this is like probably one of the biggest life hacks, to use that term. I mean, it's not really a life hack. Everyone knows about music, but a Movified life hack, a Movify hack for making life feel more cinematic, because I genuinely think music can change everything. It can like completely change your mood in an instant. It can trigger memories from the past, make you feel all nostalgic, remember stuff you'd forgotten. It can change the way you feel about yourself and the world around you. It can alter reality because, I mean, we all know this from watching films. Music adds so much to it. You can take one piece of footage, add a jaunty little tune to it, like a spider walking across the floor, for instance. A jaunty little tune, you're like, oh, cute. He's cute. Wonder where he's going. He's having a lovely time. If you put that same footage with like a horrific horror movie soundtrack with like screeching violins and like low like groaning sounds and things like that, you're probably not going to be like, oh, cute. I mean, you might not think spiders are cute anyway. But you know what I mean? The music changes everything. So if you remove the music from a scene, like completely, the whole thing becomes kind of weird and flat and not very interesting. But say you've got a training montage, you can't have a training montage without music, can you? It's just not, it's not possible. Say there's a dramatic running scene. If there's no music, then it's just someone wheezing down the street, which is not very nice to hear. Music creates emotion, it creates feeling, it creates story, it creates atmosphere. And real life is pretty much the same. And I talk about this a lot. I've talked about having your own soundtrack, your own sort of pump-up anthem, your own movie star alter ego theme tune. Like you can literally create your own theme tune using AI these days. No matter what you think about AI, creating your own theme tune in like a few seconds is a game changer. And I'm not suggesting you do this and then try and sell it or make money from it. This is just for you. But music is just amazing. It can make you feel more confident, more adventurous, more emotional, more alive, more connected to the moment. And if you use it as a sort of trigger every time you go and do something scary, which is what I teach in my Movie Star Alter Ego guide, which you can get at movifyyourlife.com/free. That's movifyyourlife.com/free. Link is also in the show notes of this episode. You can use music as a way to sort of get in the zone. So you can go and do the hard thing. If you do it every time, it becomes a sort of pattern. Your brain recognizes it. You realize, oh, it's time to get to work or whatever you need to do. And this is why traveling, like listening to music, like with headphones, is deeply cinematic. Like airports already kind of feel weird anyway, like movie-like people are transitioning, they're moving, they're going somewhere exciting, there's possibility in the air. I mean, there's also boredom and you feel like me. I love traveling, but I hate the traveling part of traveling. So like airports, waiting around, planes, like if you add music to it, it can help. Like whatever you're doing, add the perfect soundtrack on top and suddenly you are convinced your life is being directed by Christopher Nolan or whoever your favorite director is. And I've genuinely had moments where I'm just walking somewhere or driving somewhere. I do love listening to music in the car, and if I'm on my own, like belting out the song, and I'm not a good singer, so I have to be on my own. Or I do it with friends as well. They don't really care if I can sing or not. But it can change your mood in an instant, and it can make you feel like you're embarking on an adventure or a life-changing mission. And sometimes like even boring things can become fun with the right soundtrack. I always encourage people to do their chores, like laundry or cleaning or cooking. If you're like me, cooking is a chore. It is not something I enjoy. I don't really cook, but preparing food, it can be a boring task, but put the right soundtrack on and you are dancing around, loving life, imagining you're in a film, in a montage, just amazing. Music is amazing. So that is number one. Put on like your favorite song, make a soundtrack for an event, for a moment, and always, always, always come back to music. Okay, movie star, real talk. Are you tired of feeling like a background extra in your own life? Then it's time to step into the spotlight and activate your main character era. And I've got just the thing to help you do it. Grab my free Movie Star Alter Ego Starter Kit, your behind-the-scenes pass to creating the bold, brave, action-taking version of you who goes after their dreams like the star of a blockbuster. Inside, you'll discover how to design your alter ego, choose your transformational item, pick your theme song, and build the rituals and confidence cues you need to start living your life like the epic movie it was meant to be. So, if you're ready to rewrite your script, roll camera, and finally take the lead, head to movifyyourlife.com/free to download your free starter kit now. That's movifyyourlife.com/free. Your next scene starts today. And now, let's get back to the action. Number 2 is lighting. And I always think of lighting and different forms of lighting as being really cinematic, and I will die on this hill. Like harsh overhead lighting, always the villain of the story. Fairy lights, cinematic. Lamps, cinematic. Candles, cinematic. Golden hour, Oscar-worthy, cinematic, if that makes sense. I honestly think lighting affects our mood way more than we realise. There's a reason cozy cafes with like twinkly lights and candles feel magical. There's a reason Christmas lights make people feel emotional. And all this stuff matters. And like I say, harsh overhead lights, fluorescent lighting, no. And I'm going to do a podcast episode on this soon, but I am in the process of creating my Movify HQ in a summer house in the garden. And I am adding as much lighting atmosphere, I guess you could call it, to it as possible. I have got so many twinkly lights. Candles, like fake candles. It's made of wood, so I'm not going to be using real candles. I've got like a fake little fireplace heater. I just wanted the whole vibe to be cozy and creative. And I went for obviously the warm twinkly lights, not the cold white lights, because they're not super cozy. And like films get this completely. Lighting is a whole art. And I think it's really important to surround yourself with the right lighting. I also have a sort of green, I don't know what they're called, the lamps that you always see in like Hollywood movies when someone goes to a fancy library or they're studying at a college or something like that. And there's those green, I want to say banker's lamps. That's not right, is it? Let me Google this. Oh, it is. It's a banker's lamp. Apparently bankers had them. So they're kind of green and they've got a gold base and they just look kind of classy. I've got that one of those next to my desk because I wanted that kind of vibe for when I'm writing and being creative, and I can pretend I'm kind of like I was going to say a private investigator doing lots of work, but apparently I'm pretending to be a banker. I didn't know it. There we go. Like lamps, candles, twinkly lights, fill your life with them and you will feel more cozy and cinematic. Number 3 is outfits. Outfits change your energy, and I'm sure you already know this. Movie costume departments know exactly what they're doing psychologically, because what we wear changes how we feel, how we act, how we walk, how we carry ourselves. It changes our energy. And this is basically the entire concept behind my Movie Star Alter Ego. I encourage you to create your own outfit for your alter ego, or at least a transformational item. So like an accessory that you can put on and that acts as a trigger, as well as the soundtrack, the music, the song, whatever you're using to become your movie star alter ego. Obviously, style is a huge thing. We want to dress for the person we want to be. It's like that dress for the job you want to have thing. Colour in itself is so important. There's a reason that my Movify Your Life brand is all bright red, because I was thinking of red carpet and Hollywood glamour and red lipstick and being bold. And it's why I wear a lot of red, because that helps me feel like I am more like a movie star and like I can go out and do things. And it's why I'm adding lots of red things to my Movify HQ. It's why I buy lots of notebooks that are red. It just makes me feel like Hollywood glamour. I also have lots of gold sparkly things for the same reason. But, pick a colour that makes you feel really good about yourself. And we some of us, not everyone, kind of forgets about, clothing and style and dressing when we get older. And we just sort of dress for comfort, which is fine, unless you want to go out there and do amazing things, in which case I highly recommend you have your big, bold outfit that you put on when you need to get shit done. So yeah, clothing is so important. Number 4, rituals make life feel intentional. So this is a bit of a different one, but rituals can make life feel cinematic. So what do I mean by this? Things like traditions. I'm sure you have family traditions, Christmas traditions, things like that. They can make you feel nostalgic. They can make you feel at home. Maybe you have like a morning ritual which grounds you for the day, like having a cup of tea outside if it's not raining, journaling, reading, meditating, all that good stuff. Maybe it's you go out to a cafe every Saturday morning and just sit there and have some time to yourself and people watch. Maybe it's a seasonal tradition. Like I said, humans love rituals because rituals create meaning and films use them constantly. So think about how often movies repeat visual habits or symbolic routines or patterns to create emotional connection, and then think how you can do that in your life as well. They can make moments feel intentional, and if you have a routine that you love, I highly recommend movifying it even more with things like I'm talking about, like soundtracks, lighting, all that good stuff. Just like pile on as many movified moments, many movified things as you can to your ritual, and it will make it even more cinematic. Number 5 is the weather, because in films and TV shows, weather is practically its own cast member. Rain can mean either being really sad or having some kind of emotional breakthrough. Snow can mean like wonder and awe. Fog, mystery. Autumn leaves, nostalgia. Thunderstorms, chaos and drama. Sunshine, like freedom and happiness. And yet in real life, we spend half our time, and I'm saying this as a Brit, so I'm very self-aware, going, ugh, it's raining. When really, rain is one of the most cinematic kinds of weather imaginable. It's like its own special effect. We can use it. We can make use of that. If it is raining, instead of going, ugh, it's raining, you can pretend you're in a montage or a scene in a film and you are having an emotional breakthrough. You can stare into the distance, put on some music that fits, light a candle, and have a really cozy hygge moment. And some of my favorite memories involve the weather, like they revolve around the weather, like walking in the snow in Canada, in the falling leaves in Vermont, stormy coastal walks, foggy mornings, thunderstorms while I'm inside reading with a cup of tea. So I think when you start viewing weather sort of atmospherically instead of purely as an inconvenience, if it's bad weather, life becomes way more interesting and way more cinematic. Number 6 is movement, because movement feels like your plot is progressing. So this could be things like literally walking, walking through the forest, walking through a city, walking down your road. It can be a train journey, road trip, a flight, like being on a boat. There's a reason that films use traveling scenes so much, usually as a sort of transition, like an emotional transition, a metaphor, because movement feels symbolic. It feels like, as I said, the plot is progressing. And I feel sometimes when we feel stuck in life, what we actually need is movement. And I don't mean like getting on a plane and running away from all your problems, but just like moving in a different direction for a little bit, preferably with an epic soundtrack on. It can help you shift your perspective, give you space, different environment. Change is all good. And obviously life is all about the journey. So get movement in there whenever you feel stuck or stagnant. Number 7 is playful people experience more magic. And I'm always banging on about how most adults don't play as much as children do. Like children are very imaginative. They have imaginary friends. They run around and have really great fun pretending to be all this different characters and stuff like that. And then we grow out of it, which I think is a real shame. And I believe that people who allow themselves to be silly experience more joy and more cinematic moments. Recording my Movimentary taught me this massively because I've talked about this before on the podcast, but I was dressing up in silly outfits, doing silly things, running around with a tiny cardboard cutout of Pedro Pascal, and a disco strawberry with googly eyes and a moustache called the Red Baron. I was being really, really silly. I was dancing in public. Like, who am I? I was being super cringe and I was trying to be super cringe, and I had the best time. And I think a lot of cinematic moments die in people's heads because they're too worried about looking silly. Like maybe it's raining, but you're on holiday, so it's like a nice warm rain and there's a song playing and you really want to just get out there and dance in the rain, but you're too embarrassed. That would have been an epic cinematic moment that you'd probably never forget, but you stopped yourself because you didn't want to look too ridiculous. Well, I say look ridiculous. Go and do the thing, be silly, be more playful. And I think reclaiming play and being silly as an adult is one of the most powerful things we can do. And finally, number 8 is paying attention, which is the real secret. And I think this is the biggest secret of all. because the people who experience life as magical and wondrous and cinematic and film-like aren't necessarily living completely different lives to the people who are finding things boring or finding the rain annoying or whatever it is. They're paying attention to the right things. They're seeing things through a different lens, a cinematic lens. They notice the beauty of a small moment. They notice the atmosphere. They notice energy. They notice stories, and they allow themselves to notice them and to feel things. And I honestly think movies train us to crave meaning, emotion, transformation, adventure, connection, not because we want to escape our life, although maybe some people do, but because deep down we want to experience life more vividly. And we can do that by going out there and having all the epic trips and the big moments and the magical movie moments. But we can also do it in our daily lives by looking at all these things and realizing, hey, this thunderstorm is actually really cinematic and cool. I'm going to be present in the moment, sit here with my twinkly lights and my soundtrack and have a great time. So maybe the goal isn't to escape reality, but to become more present inside it, no matter what's going on. So those are the 8 things. And this week, I want you to create one cinematic moment on purpose. And it doesn't have to be a massive magical movie moment like I talk about all the time. It can be one tiny thing. Make a playlist, watch the sunset or the sunrise, dress differently, light a few candles or, put some batteries in some battery operated ones, romanticize something ordinary, and stop waiting for permission to enjoy your life. Because your life probably already contains movie moments. You just haven't been seeing them that way yet. You haven't been looking at them through a cinematic lens. So I'd like to leave you with that little challenge to create one cinematic moment on purpose this week. And as I say, I think the easiest way to do this is to put something on, like an outfit or an accessory that is bold and makes you feel great. Put on your favorite song or a song that really fits the moment. Get some twinkly lights in there. Really pay attention to what's going on around you. Add some movement and don't let the weather be the villain of the piece. Make it part of the cast. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Embrace the weather, basically, even if it's traditionally what you would think of as crap weather. Embrace it, get all moody and atmospheric with it, and have a lovely time. If you do any of these things, I'd love to hear about it. You can DM me on Instagram at Movify Your Life, and please give me a follow too. You can email me as well at action@movifyyourlife.com. And please share this episode with someone you think might enjoy it. Thank you for listening. And until next time, I'll see you on the red carpet. Thank you so much for listening to the Movify Your Life show. Before you go, don't forget to sign up for the main character memo mailing list at movifyyourlife.com/list for exclusive tips, treats, and behind-the-scenes magic. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would really appreciate it if you could please subscribe, leave a review, or share this podcast with a friend. Let's spread that Movify message far and wide because everyone deserves to live an epic life fit for the big screen. I'll see you next week for another Movify Monday. Until then, that's a wrap.